Well, how do you do, Buckaroos? It says I'm live. So here's the thing. I did a live video just a few minutes ago, but my camera died, and I don't know what the hell happened. So I scrapped it, decided to start all over. So here's the thing. I did invite a handful of folks in. I don't expect any of them to join me because they had no idea I was going to do this. It was kind of off the cuff. So anyways, let me try to pick up where I left off. So I've got some Jim Beam double oak on the rocks with some lemon. What a twist, man! With some lemon here. So let me show you the bottle. Jim Beam double oak. It is interesting. It was about 22 a bottle, 21.99. What they do with this is they age it for 4 years, as Jim Beam does, but then they bottle the Jim Beam of 4 years. But then they take this bourbon and age it additionally. They don't tell you for how long, but in new oak. So it's not aged for a longer period than 4 years in the same oak. And then it's put into new oak. So uh, the idea is that it gives you bolder flavor. You then get that fresh oak flavor in this, and it is nice. I got to tell you, for a $22 whiskey, yes, I think it is worth it. I will buy it again. It's interesting. I at very close to the same price point as their Devil's Cut. Right there, I got a real big hit of cinnamon. I shit you not. For about the same price point is their Devil's Cut and their 100 proof bonded whiskey. Now, which one is better? None. The truth is, which one you may prefer depends on your taste buds. I've had all three and I like them all for about the same price point. So here's the thing: the 100 proof bonded. I had 100 proof. It is very bold. It's brash. It's in your face. If that's what you're looking for at that moment, that's the whiskey for you. The Devil's Cut 90 proof uh, has these big
Hey,
bold.
Bill Whisperer, how you doing?
Hey, John, or John, I should pronounce your name right.
Doing
Thanks for
good.
joining me. You know what? I did this. I said this. I just invited a few folks. I did it off the cuff, so I didn't expect anybody to join me, but I'm glad you did.
I'm good. I'm good. Excellent. I'm sitting here watching. Well, this game now pretty much is a blowout right now. Ole Miss and Florida State. So, I thought it'd be competitive, and compared to last night, which I tried to stay awake, but I fell asleep. I was out and about all day yesterday, and I tried to stay up for that, and I dozed off, and I missed a good one. So
what are you drinking, my friend?
right now, I was just finish off my little 8-ounce Miller Lite. I bought an 8-ounce can of these. My significant other likes it. These are become very popular.
We used to call those ponies in the bottles, but yeah.
Exactly. They started selling these. Since what's he? I think they did some test market in a couple of places, and I know Dollar Tree sells them. And I know Dollar Tree. I know people laugh when they say Dollar Tree sells alcohol, but they did a test market a couple of years ago, back in '09 or 2010, and then it went national. Started selling, just the usual beers and wines and whatnot. And
Well, the Dollar Trees in my neck of the woods don't sell those, and I don't like Miller Lite, but I got to tell you, in all honesty, if a Dollar Tree in my neck of the woods starts selling it, I would
not
buy
Dollar
it.
Tree, Dollar General, Dollar General.
Oh, okay. I would buy it just because they sold it.
Yeah. And it was pretty cheap. It was like $4.95 for a 12-pack
guys.
of 8-ounce
All right.
cans. And I said, all right, but she likes Bud Light. I like Miller Lite and Budweiser. So, oh well. Can't make everybody happy.
So I'm currently having I just found this today, and I hadn't had it before. Is the Firestone Walker Luponic Distortion. Have you had this before?
No, I have not. Who makes it?
Firestone Walker out of California, 5.9%, 59 IBUs. They don't give you the style. It really is basically an APA.
Okay.
So be your beer of choice. I know you drink a lot of the macros, but I also know you drink some. I also know you drink some craft brews. So what do you really like?
I'm just a fan. Like, see, with me particularly in the winter months, like I said, I'll have whatever. But in the winter months, I tend to go more towards stouts. And this
Yeah, there you go.
now, being as humid as it is down here in the in this part of the country, I'll tend, like I said, have an IPA. I'll have a Pilsner or a Pale Ale or a lager. And right now, that's pretty much what I've been drinking. I did a review today of a Pale Ale. I don't know if you saw it, called Mother Trucker. I'm sure you
Yeah, well, I
responded.
made a comment.
Right. It was cute. I like that. And I thought it was a pretty good. It's from the Catawba Brewery Company based in Asheville, North Carolina. They mostly been in the Carolinas, obviously North and South Carolina. So they, as of back in June or July, they began to start filtrating their beers here to the state of Alabama. So, and I did that. I did the Farmer's Ted cream ale, and I got one more beer of theirs. I'm going to do a review on tomorrow. It's called the Red Licious Indian Pale Ale.
Oh, nice.
So,
So red
yeah.
IPA, very nice.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm a fan of all styles, really. So, but mostly I would say the lagers, the stouts, and the pale ales and IPAs are the ones I tend to drink the most.
Are you a whiskey drinker at all, sir?
I'm a little bit of a whiskey drinker, but I've been trying to behave myself. So,
Well, I bring it up because I just found this today. I hadn't seen it before, so I had to pick it up. It is a major distillery. It is Jim Beam, but it's their double oak, and I hadn't seen it before. Is this your neck of the woods?
We do get Jim Beam. I haven't been to the ABC store in some time, but we do get a lot of their stuff. There was another Jim Beam that was pretty popular. I think, was it the Red Stag? Kind of like a very cinnamony, very
Red
fiery.
Stag's kind of black cherry. Yeah.
Right. I had that, and I thought, this is. I could see this on a nice cold night, having this as a nightcap, So
This one's very interesting. It's 83 proof, 83 proof. What they do is it's aged for 4 years, as Jim Beam does, but then they take it and they age it in a brand. They take the 4-year-old bourbon and age it in a brand new cask. The idea is to give it, bolder oak notes. It's a very interesting whiskey.
Right. So, but like I said,
so anyway,
with me, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I've never talked to you personally before, so we've interacted on social media. But tell me what. I don't want to get personal. I don't want to ask too many personal questions, but tell folks that might be watching me what you want them to know about you.
Well, like I said, I'm a beer guy. My first beer I had when I turned, well, let's go back when I was 16, dipping into my 50, dipping into my father's stash. Me and my brothers.
Like 21.
Right. One time, I had my first beer, and it was a Heineken. I kind of, so me and my brother, we had it, and we just kind of threw up the next day, like, oh, this is horrible. Then as we get, into the later years in senior years in high school and whatnot, people sneak stuff in, you'll take a sip, whatever. So, but my first beer when 21 was Ballantine Ale.
Oh, Ballantine, yeah.
Ballantine Ale, a legendary beer. That's where I'm from. I'm originally from New Jersey. My parents live up there. Most of my siblings, my 2 siblings live up there. My older brother lives in Georgia now. But been a fan of, sipping beers. But again, all I had were the standards, the Miller Lights, the Buds, the whatnot, the Coors, whatever. And since I started following, yourself and following Jay Terrio, Maria Devon, many others, began to sort of, look at other styles of beer. And starting to realize, hey, these are pretty good, and I've always been one to try different things. I never been kind of stuck on one thing, like, let's mix it up a little bit. And when I bring some of these beers around to some of my friends I live down here in Alabama, they'll look at me. Some will try it. I'll be like, I don't want this. Give me a Miller Lite. Give me a Bud Light or something, So, that's pretty much what I like. And like I said, I like all styles of beer. But like I said, the ones I mentioned, I do drink red wine. I've kind of slowly, like I said, I'll have a little whiskey, but I'm kind of cutting back on the hard spirits. I'm just kind of some unfortunate things have happened with spirits. So
You know, it's funny though. I'm much older than you, so I've kind of learned how to handle myself as I've gotten older. As a younger guy, yeah, I would agree with what you're saying. But
right,
now, you know, what I do is I pour myself a small amount.
right,
In this case, about an ounce and a half, and then I let myself have one, and
a little
only
sip here, a little sip. That's right, that's right,
you know,
that's right.
and then I have the beer, and I kind of, you know. But
So
I notice I drink much slower as I get older. It's not about getting drunk. It's about enjoying the whiskey. It's about enjoying the beer.
right.
You notice the same thing as you get older?
Yeah, about the same right now. I'm 40, and like I said, I'm slowing it down. You know, a little sip here, a sip there. You know, like when it comes to like the ones I mentioned, the Miller Lights and the Milwaukee's Best Lights, whatever. You know, I'll pound a few, and particularly if I'm home. You know, I'm not going anywhere. You know, most of the time, you know, not out there. You know, carousing and then
Yeah.
hitting the
No,
road and
I
driving,
got
whatever.
you.
But when I'm home, relaxing my, you know, my sanctuary, whatever. You know, I'll MB Light or whatever. You know, I'm knocking a couple of back because I know I'm going to be all right. You know, I'm cool and it's easy. You know, those are okay. I can lock like maybe 5 or 6 back. But when it comes to like the IPAs or the you know the amber ales or the Vienna lagers, things like that, you know, I'm kind of like let me sip this a little bit here, maybe one, maybe just 2 at most, and then basically call it a night. So
There you go. So I'm going to ask you a question, and feel free not to answer, because I don't know
sure.
how personal you want to get with my audience. But are you a married guy?
I'm with my significant other. We've been together now for 10 years, and
Do you have children?
yes, we do. We have one child. Her name is Daviana, and everything is great. We're good as a
Do you want to
family.
mention the
And
age of your child?
huh?
Do you want to mention the age of your child?
She is 7 now.
7. Oh, that's a nice age. Yeah.
Yes.
So by second grade?
Yes, she's in 2nd grade right now. Yes.
Nice, very nice. So, yeah, my daughter Callista, she's grown. She's 26, and I have 2 grandchildren. So,
Okay, great. Good. Good.
but
Good.
that's nice. I love hearing about other folks. You know, it's funny. You know, a lot of folks just want to talk about beer. I want to know about what kind of person you are.
Do,
So,
I was gonna say, do your grandchildren? I mean, well, your grandchildren, but do your children see you do these videos and what they say? Do they kind of laugh at you? Kind of,
no.
why are you doing these videos? Or you know?
When my grandson was about 1, oh, we were having to be out of town a lot, and he couldn't see me. So
Right.
he's 3 now, but he couldn't see me. So when he would get fussy, and my daughter couldn't contact me, she would put a video on, just so he could hear my voice, and he would quit crying and calm down,
Oh, okay. Okay.
so he
I
could hear
like that. I
Grampy's
like that.
voice. But no, as they get more aware of what they're doing, no, they probably don't want to hear Grampy talk about beer. But I
Right.
do other videos where I'm not talking about beer that she can put on. But
Right.
basically, yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. My significant other,
I
she doesn't.
don't mean to get sad on you for a second, but I want
It's
to be
fun.
honest with you. I don't know how much you know about me, but my wife and I had a son, Seamus. Seamus would have been 18 this year, but
Mm.
we lost him to leukemia on
Oh,
April 23rd.
the
On April
picture that I see on your
23rd.
profile, right? That's the
On
picture of your
Yeah,
son, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so
Yeah.
so my Beer Whisperer page, it's all about my beer. But
Right.
yeah, my personal page, is a picture of my son.
That's
So
sweet.
April 23rd of 2013, we lost him to leukemia.
Wow.
So.
Wow, man. My heart goes out for you, man. My heart goes out for you.
And thank you. And I didn't say that to make you sad or to
No,
make
no,
our
no,
audience
no. It's
sad.
okay.
But
Like I
but
said,
but
I like these
but
stories.
I'm trying to get to know you as a person.
Right,
But you need to know
right,
things about me as well.
right. I like these stories. You know, I like to, like you said, and I think that's what we're missing. Sadly, is that we're not really taking the time to get to know people. We're willing to immediately just see someone and judge the worst of that person, or hear what someone says about that person, unless you really know what that person's gone through, unless you know what that person has dealt with or been through in their lives. don't judge. Just sit, talk to them, get to know them. Maybe you'll be surprised. You might get
No,
something out of it. You know, that's
you're
kind of how I
right.
feel
You
about
know
it.
what? I did a video earlier where I said almost those same exact words. I agree with you 100%. Why do we have to judge people? Why can't we just say, I don't know what your situation is, but I'm here to help you?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
do we have to say bad things about them for being in their situation? Why can't we just walk up to them and say, I'm going to help you?
Exactly. Exactly. That's how I feel. And I said I'm going through some things personally in my life and with my family. And as you know, my family, as I told you, are from New Jersey, but my mother, my father, originally from Haiti. They arrived here
Oh, really?
in 1974. They arrived here, and my dad had two children, my two older brothers from a previous relationship. Then me, then came me, and then my younger brother, and then my sister. She was the last, and so we've we've gone like any family. You know, we're not perfect. We love each other. We've had our highs, we've had our lows. We've dealt with bigotry and other things that have not been too kind, and I've gone through it, and my brothers have, and but we soldier on, and we're together. We're all we're all living our lives in different states, but we're all are there for each other when we need each other. So you know that's what family's about. So
No, you know what? I agree. I mean, I have a family, um, and my brothers and sisters. We don't always agree eye to eye on a lot of things, but we're always there for each other. And
right,
that's what family is, right? You don't have to agree 100%. You just have to be there when you need them.
right,
And you know what? As far as the other things you were talking about, I'm a white guy, so it would be rather disingenuous of me to say I understand what you're going through because I don't, because I'm a white guy.
right.
But
Well,
I do understand there are some inequities going on in this country, and I wish we could get that straightened out.
right. Well, that, and also because of our family and being where they're from in that part of the world, the being we are the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, as people like to say, and we've had a negative stereotype been put on us, and I'm sure you probably know this, going back, from the early days of AIDS and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
HIV,
Yeah.
everyone, because it was such a very popular destination spot to go, and it's getting better now, despite all the political stuff that happened back then and in between, and now what's going on after the earthquake in 2010 and how the country has somehow progressed now has become back to a tourist spot, but it's always had a negative view, and it's stuff that I've had to face, my family has had to face, and people that I've known who dealt with it. I mean, some have, some haven't, but it's been something that's been unfortunate, and I've had people say things to me that was very unpleasant and kind. Not just, I mean, of all racial lines. It was not nice to hear, and let's put it that way. So, and I still, I still face it to this day, but I try not to let that bring me down. I try to, like I say, keep going forward, and look at, now I'm at the point right now, like I said, I'm 40. I'm trying not to think negative. I've had a tough past. Try to be as positive as best I can every day, and that's why I try to at least do at least two or three, if not four, but at least two reviews during the week, because that doing those reviews, whether on this screen here or talking to Jay and his gang, whatever, I feel a sense of I'm doing something that I like. I'm doing something that I enjoy, and like other things I like to enjoy, like reading books and you know, um, taking like nice walks, riding my bike, things like that. Other things I like to enjoy, but doing those reviews have been fun, and it's kind of given me something like, hey, look at something positive and upbeat and fun instead of looking at all the negative.
Yeah, you know what, John, I agree with you. I've said actually very similar words about why I do what I do. I
Right.
mean, I started doing this as, a way to help alleviate stress. But then
Right.
when our son becomes sick, it became more of therapy. And then when we lost our son to cancer, it became almost a moral imperative. It
Right.
almost became like I have to keep doing this, otherwise I'm going to lose myself in sadness and despair. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So I keep doing this because I don't know what else to do. But yeah, I understand what you're doing, and I understand what you're saying. So yeah, no, that's awesome. I hope your family is doing well, though.
Yeah, I spoke to them earlier today. They're not really getting much. It's mostly down, maybe a lot of rain. And I know that the areas around the northern part of the state, and even part of the sound. I mean, they just got a lot of rain, but it's saying it's slowly moving. But that was about it. It was cloudy, very little, just rain, no beach erosion that I've seen, high surf. So it's been okay with that storm coming through. But I said I don't think the last thing they want is another Sandy or something similar to that. They went through that and they're still recovering.
My daughter was trying not to make any noise, just coming in. My wife and daughter were out, so she was waving goodbye and blowing me a kiss. So
Right.
I didn't want you to think I was interrupting you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
blowing you a kiss.
Cheers, my friend.
We like each other, but not that much. But no, I better let you know what I was doing there.
Awesome, man.
So anyway, yeah. Again, my daughter's 26. We have 2 grandchildren.
Right.
You know what? The funny thing is I knew what Haiti was going through, but until you brought it up again just now, I kind of forgot about the whole AIDS thing and the epidemic, and until you brought it back to me. So, and I think that's the problem right now is people forget.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you keep bringing it to their people forget. Actually, I forget. I remember Haiti being a big destination spot.
Right.
I remember the AIDS epidemic, but I guess part of me always thought that tourism came back.
Right. Well, like I said, we've always heard the origins came from Africa, and the origins say no, it came from Haiti. All these different things. All I know is that this disease has wrecked so many lives. It has affected so many people, but also made people be more aware of what they're doing, whether it's relations with who they're dealing with, and making sure that taking precaution. That's all I will say on that. So
well, I think people should always take precautions. I think what people forget was it became more of a homosexual epidemic here in the States, but it didn't start out that way in other countries. So I think that's the part that Americans tend to forget, that it isn't really a homosexual disease. It never started out that way. So I wish Americans would have more of an open mind about certain things. But then again, I don't want to get into politics, but my politics tend to run more towards.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm a bit of a liberal, but yeah, I think people forget those things.
Right. So
anyway, hey John, I want to thank, or Jean, I want to pronounce your name right. I want to thank you for joining me. I'm glad you did, though, because we've interacted on social media a lot. I had a chance to talk to you in person, so
let's do a review whenever your schedule sees fit. Let's do a review. I'll try to find some of those beers, whatever beer I know the other day I saw a picture you had the Arrogant Bastard Ale, and we get it here. And I want to before we end, I mean, I mentioned a lot of my videos that it's good to have when you go to a supermarket or grocery store or package store. It's good, and we're starting to see more and more of this recently, the last couple of years. Took it where I'm from, and I'm sure I've seen it forever back up north, but down here, it's good that stores are starting to. You're able to buy the singles of whatever size you want. You're not being hijacked to get a 6-pack or a 12-pack of something.
That's nice. I do agree with that. Yeah.
You're not like for example, if there was a certain beer I did a review of that I really didn't want to buy the whole case, but that's all they had. You know, it's like, all right, fine, got it. And I was like, I'm not too happy with it, so I gave some of it to my my coworkers. But whether it be Arrogant Bastard Ale or the Blue Point or whatever beer, I buy that single and said, you know what, I can see myself getting that 6-pack again. You know, I'll buy the 6-pack. It's that good.
Yeah,
1050, for example, when the first I had it, I thought that was probably one of the best Imperial Stouts I had. And I said, when I get that, I am going to buy that 4-pack. I know it's costly, but it was worth the money, and I enjoyed it. So.
All right, man. I want to thank Jean-Pierre for joining me. I'm going to end the broadcast. I'm going to ask Jean-Pierre to hang on and not leave me because I want to talk him off camera. But hey, thanks, folks, for joining me today. It is Labor Day. I hope y'all are having a great day. I'm doing some grilling. I have lost my daylight, but that doesn't stop me. I'm Tony the Beer Whisperer. Hey, thanks, Jean-Pierre, for joining me. I appreciate your insights and your opinions, and we'll be back.